Can keto help fertility success? It's SaraBanta with Accelerated Health TV and radio show. And this is hitting home with me. This is about me and about so many of you women out there. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, is a leading cause of female infertility, impacting as many as 5 million women of reproductive age. And I actually think that number is so much higher. But a new study published last week in the Journal of Endocrine Society reveals a potential connection between the ketogenic diet and fertility in women with PCOS. Yeah, because insulin resistance causes diseases throughout the body, not just fertility issues. So the findings suggest that a keto diet may decrease the testosterone levels in females with PCOS. Now, what is interesting is I don't believe you have to be on a high-fat diet. I think it's the carbs. And what we are learning is that insulin resistance at the level of the ovaries turns into PCOS. Insulin resistance at the level of the liver is diabetes. And insulin resistance at the heart is heart disease. So in their study, they provided tangible evidence from a pooled clinical data on the association between the ketogenic diet and improvements in the reproductive hormones, which influence fertility in women with PCOS. And a lot of people have PCOS and they don't know it until they try to get pregnant, like me. So here I was in the age of trying to get pregnant, right? My cycle was not regular. It was like lucky if I got pregnant. And I was told I had PCOS. No one told me to look at my diet. No one told me to check my blood sugar. But did you know that I was insulin resistant? And as soon as I lowered my carbs and did a more high protein, low carb, ketogenic diet, because I intermittent fasted and used ketones to get into ketosis, my menstrual cycle regulated itself. It was like that. So this is all about me, and I am so passionate about it because, of course, I want healthy children born right now, right? So PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome, isn't a disease, but it's a metabolic condition. It affects up to 30% of women today. And what happens is the symptoms of PCOS, you have missed periods, irregular periods, or very light ones, the ovaries that are large or they have many cysts. So a whole bunch of eggs are coming down the pipeline, and then one is supposed to be the dominant egg to ovulate. Now, that's very simplistic in how I'm describing it, but what happens with polycystic ovarian syndrome is that no one egg dominates, so then you don't have that menstrual cycle. A lot of women will see excess body hair, including on their chest, their stomach, back, weight gain, especially around the abdominal area. Now, I never had that, so you don't have to be overweight or obese to have PCOS. But if you have insulin resistance, then most likely you are going to have obesity, which that is where the correlation comes with PCOS and obesity. But you also can have acne or oily skin, and male pattern baldness or thinning hair, yep. Infertility, yep. And small pieces of excess skin around the neck or the armpits, those are skin tags. And you don't have to have PCOS to have those skin tags. Those skin tags are showing you that you have insulin resistance. I never had those. You can also get dark or thick skin patches on the back of the neck, armpits, and under the breast. So what is causing PCOS? It's an excess of insulin or insulinemia. Thank you. It's a tough Monday here. Men aren't at risk for PCOS, obviously, but erectile dysfunction is a direct symptom of insulin resistance as well. And because where insulin is not able to promote that sufficient vasodilation. Every cell responds to insulin in some way, and the ovaries are no different. So remember that insulin resistance is the mom screaming at the kids to stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. And the kids stop listening. And dad walks in with a quiet voice and says, stop doing that. And they listen. So that's what insulin resistance is. It's a metabolic disease in which the cells in the body stop listening to insulin. So where it comes in with fertility, the female fertility relies on the sex hormone FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, that creates a rise in estrogen, and LH, which is luteinizing hormone, creating a rise in progesterone. These come from the hypothalamus to the pituitary and then down to the ovary. And I've talked about the fact that you've got the HPA, which is the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis, the HPT, hypothalamus pituitary thyroid axis, and the HPG, which is the hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis. They are all related. So think about your thyroid is actually related to PCOS and your gonads and your sex hormones. So super important to remember. FSH creates the follicles for eggs, which were created before birth. A few eggs become activated until one becomes dominant and becomes that one egg stimulated by FSH. Then ovulation is stimulated by LH, and then the egg is released and you're ready for the sperm to get pregnant. Yay. But with PCOS, this doesn't happen. Okay, so what are you seeing in PCOS? You're seeing higher testosterone, that all the estrogen is converted from testosterone. And there's an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen. High levels of insulin at the ovaries limit the testosterone's ability to convert into estrogen, leading to high levels of testosterone and androgens. And as a result, the ovary follicles wait to become that dominant follicle, fail to do so with the lack of estrogen. So there you go. And you have excess testosterone, which leads to the facial hair, the hair loss, the lack of menstruation, and all the issues. And then you have many cysts on the ovaries, not just the one. So there you go with the PCOS. So how do you reverse it? I reversed it, and I wish I knew back then what I know now, because it would have been a lot easier to get pregnant. Number one, you want to reduce the starches in dairy. And dairy is full of sugar. I know it can be a ketogenic food, but it does spike the blood sugar and insulin in most people. And the starches do as well. You want to be on a low carb diet. Using the accelerated keto, this is the number one supplement that will help reverse or alleviate your PCOS. The accelerated keto puts your body into ketosis and fat burning mode within 30 minutes, helps with appetite control and physical and mental energy. But what it's doing is it's telling your brain, oh, I've got thousands of calories to snack on of fat on my body, regardless of what your body fat percentage is. You've got thousands of calories. And so then it shuts down the need for glucose. And when it does that, and you're able to intermittent fast, your blood sugar comes down, you're not releasing insulin, and then you get insulin sensitive. And then your hormones regulate, and your gonadals regulate, and your ovaries regulate, and everything starts working. Where accelerated keto is different from any other exogenous ketone supplement, has multiple herbal cofactors to help increase your ATP, which is your true cellular energy in the brain and the body. So your energy is up. The body has the energy at the cellular level to do the right conversions of the hormones and then it also has ingredients in there to defat the liver, where fat burning occurs, where the hormones are regulated, where the sugars are processed. I just had a question about estrogen dominance. Well, what's the number one thing to do for estrogen dominance? Cleanse your liver so your body can process those xenoestrogens, that excess estrogen. So regardless of what side you are on with the hormonal imbalances, you can use the accelerated keto to defat the liver, burn that belly fat, burn the visceral fat, your body snacks on its own fat stores to stay in that state of ketosis, which is what the study was talking about. So you don't need a high fat diet. A lot of people right now can't eat a high fat diet because their livers are backed up and they get nauseous and they can't break down that fat because their livers are being bombarded by the environmental toxins, the xenoestrogens, the EMFs, everything in our food, the processed foods. It's all coming at us. That spike protein I've talked about. So the accelerated keto allows your body to snack on its own fat stores to stay into ketosis. You support it with a high wild animal protein diet, low carbs, you filling in with the vegetables that work with your DNA, and that is how you can stabilize that insulin and insulin sensitivity. You can also use Berberine HCL, which we know is nature's own Ozempic, right? This helps support pathogenic and bacterial balance in addition to improving blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, and digestion and weight management. And it will help break down those proteins and fats. And the third supplement, like always, is the Acceleradine Iodine. That will help stabilize blood sugar, improve that insulin sensitivity, improve your mood, increase physical and mental energy, helps regulate those xenoestrogens, helps with the estrogen binding protein, helps with the liver clean the blood, and it lowers sugar cravings. So not only is the Acceleradine helpful with blood sugar, but it's antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and it helps detoxify all 100 trillion cells in the body is what is causing the xenoestrogens to go up and imbalance the hormones in your body. So all of my accelerated health products, the accelerated keto and the Acceleradine, are enhanced with scalar frequencies to help with metabolic rate, help with burning that body fat, and cleansing the liver. You can also use the accelerated ancient salt to help with the blood sugar control as well, just out for a diabetic. When they're having a diabetic crisis, just having some salt and the iodine can bring down their blood sugar. And what's interesting is there is the wires for your addiction to sugar are near the salt wires to your brain. So when you start eating processed foods, you think that you think you're craving sugar, you actually might be just craving salt. So just by supplementing with some of the accelerated ancient salt, you might curb your cravings. It's able to satisfy your appetite when you're having those cravings. Just put a little bit on your tongue or in a glass of water, and you will be able to fast longer, and you'll actually help your sugars and your insulin levels come down. So there you go. There's some other supplements you can use, but if you have PCOS, you can correct it. I did. It was super easy, and it's directly related to your insulin resistance, which I believe so many more people have than they know. You also need to focus on your sleep. Try walking for 10 minutes before or after each meal. That will take your spike in blood sugar to more of a molehill. And then when you incorporate the accelerated keto, the Acceleradine Iodine, and possibly the Berberine HCL and the accelerated salt, that molehill will even become less. And so you are going to be like this, and it will be, you will not only just see a difference in your hormones, you're going to see a difference in your brain, in your ability to work out, your ability to build muscle, and so many more things. So thanks for joining me today. If I can help you with your health issues, contact me through the website, SaraBantaHealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. Do you have PCOS? What are you experiencing? What is your doctor telling you? Are they even talking to you about the diet component of this? Let me know. I'd love to know. And join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health, and you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey in addition to truly taking control control of your health. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, across over 100 channels under Accelerated Health TV and radio show. And my goal is to reach everyone on earth with eyes to see and ears to hear my message of healing. So please help me with that goal. Share this podcast with a few of your friends who may need my help. Join us every week on Mondays at 2 p.m. and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific. And you can use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.